Trap nerds, real niggas like you never heard.
And we are back. So we have two very special guests here. One returning for the third time, and one new. They're from the Hold Up podcast. Dulce Sloan and Josh Johnson is joining us today. How you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing good, man. Good to have you back on here. I see you guys doing some moving and stuff right there with the Daily Show. I've seen a couple nominations come out, and I'm loving what you guys doing with your podcast, man. So how's that going so far?
No, it's good. Yeah, it's fun. It's basically what Dulce and I already do. So it just is now for the world, you know?
Oh, yeah, okay. These are conversations that we would have with each other. Is this a video too? I'm just asking. I forget to ask.
Yeah, it's
y'all
a video.
Just checking. I'm glad I came out with my good hair. But so we would have these conversations like in Josh's office. And people would go, "Oh, y'all should start a podcast." And I'm like, "Ain't nobody got time for that." But it's just general little stuff. It just has to, us having conversations, and like sometimes like this is the thing. Josh doesn't have any siblings, right? So a lot of times Josh be thinking I be coming for him. But I'm not. I'm just treating him like anybody would treat their little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like and sometimes it comes out of nowhere. All right. So it's not just me being sensitive.
Syndrome.
A little bit, I think so, because it's like I just don't know. And then I was a weird only child, so that I didn't even have enough friends. So it's like I started making friends as I got older.
How did y'all get in a debate about fruit, though?
Yeah.
Every episode. Every episode is a debate.
How did we get here?
Plants,
no, it was fruit, though.
We got
That's
to
hilarious.
That, we got to that because we were on another episode. What was it? The waffles versus pancakes episode?
It's an origin story behind this. Hell
yeah.
Yes.
So we were doing waffles versus pancakes, and then I brought up plantains, and he brought up bananas, and I was like, okay, bet. The next episode we finna talk about plantains versus bananas, because he said something wild about banana. He said something wild about plantains. I was like, oh, this cannot stand.
Yeah, and then I said, book it. Yeah. All right.
You disrespected plantains the fuck out of plantain. What did a plantain do to you, bro?
Yeah, it's not that they did anything. It's just I have not had. Look, I'll extend an olive branch. Maybe some of it's me. I have not had a plantain prepared in a way that impressed me. So
that's
then I was
walking
like,
around the right circles. That's because you won't be out here trying other cuisines.
Who are your friends?
I am trying. I'm trying.
I've only tried
right. Have you ever had like mofongo, or have you ever had like that's a great example right there is mofongo. It's like, or there's maduros, there's tostones. Like there's a lot of ways that plantains are prepared, while bananas are just like, here's a smoothie. Here's some ice cream. We're done. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole point. The plantain can be sweet or savory. Okay, that was my whole point. The banana has one note. That's it. So it's a lot of stuff like that, like chocolate versus vanilla, window seat versus aisle seat. You listening to school, bro? It's not just me. Listen, when I turn on my speakers in my home, in the trailer where I pay rent, okay? I want to hear about guns, hoes, and money. That's what I want to hear about. All right? Try to shake something.
I also agree.
I'm trying to have a good time. I do not need somebody telling me about the woes
but it's also
of what's going on.
It's also good not to hear your ears attacked by gangbanging and stuff every time you listen to music, though. It's like kind of peaceful.
Hey. I also listen to reggaeton.
They all don't talk about gang. That you just stereotyped all of that genre into one.
It's cool.
Also, people ain't talking about gangs no more. We just say gang. It's not like the 90s. Like, people aren't here. We ain't talking about like banging. This ain't Ice T and Ice Cube. We ain't talking about banging like we used to talk about banging. Okay. Now we just talking about selling drugs. Okay. Just selling some drugs. Just selling some good American Christian drugs. Okay? Listen.
I
ain't wrapping it up. All right? How
I
you
would
wrapping
love
it
some
up,
American and Christian drug, like Christian drugs would be lit. Like I love
You
it.
know what I'm
Bruh.
saying? You wrapping
Bible
them up
camp be lit allegedly.
allegedly, right? You just out here. You at the Source Awards winning something, and what do they do first? They want to thank God for helping them get these chains, buy their mama a house. Okay, it ain't always got to be. Listen, I listen to PBS. Okay, I listen to NPR. I watch PBS. I listen to NPR. I know about the shit in the world. Okay, I follow all of the now this is. I know the stuff. I don't need the the now this page on Instagram where there's all the news and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm trying to relax, I don't want to hear about the social woes of somebody's neighborhood.
That makes sense.
I don't want to hear about what the Brenda's having a baby for the 99 and the 2000. Like I don't want to hear everything that's bad in your neighborhood. What I want to hear about, is how you throwing this money on these hoes. That's what I hear about.
Okay. Like,
are you making it rain? That's what I want to know. Are you making it rain? I don't want to care. I don't give a fuck about what happened to the community center. The kids having a bad
did
time.
the money go in slow motion when you threw it in the air over the stripper bitches?
I want to hear about precipitation over G-strings. That's what I want to hear about. I want to see what Megan Thee Stallion did today. That's what I want to know about. I don't want to hear about, oh, it's so hard for us. Nigga, duh.
You're making it sound like it's all depressing.
Because you know what? I want y'all's opinion, right? Now, there was one day at work, we were asking all of the black people if there was a new Negro spiritual, what would it be? I didn't start this conversation. Somebody else started this conversation. I just, let it bloom, right? And so Josh put in his 2 cents, right? Mm-hmm. And so we said if there was new Negro spiritual, would it be Nuck If You Buck or the song Georgia by Ludacris and Jamie Foxx?
What was the first?
Nuck If You Buck.
Off the bat. Come on now.
You're obligated.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on,
can you please explain?
You're
ready to fight, right?
Yeah.
So can you please explain?
Who the fuck finna fight to Jamie Foxx?
Nobody. Because not only was it the song Georgia that was sampled from a Ray Charles song, they didn't even use Ray Charles doing the song. It's Jamie Foxx singing the Ray Charles song. Which means, why didn't you just get the Jamie Foxx? Why didn't you just get Ray Charles sample?
Because it was for the Ray motion picture soundtrack.
That's what I said.
I hear you.
It was a specific promotion.
Right. But if you talking about Negro spirituals.
Hey, I'm definitely not looking for you, but
but this is what people don't understand. This
that's
is what
That's a sad fight for Jamie Foxx.
No, hold on. Let's dig deep. Let's go, Josh. Let's go.
Why did y'all? Now, why did y'all, Xavier? Why did you pick Nuck If You Buck over Georgia with Jamie with Ludacris featuring Jamie Foxx?
I've never heard Georgia. I'm not gonna lie.
Bitch, yes,
that's
you
one
have.
Reason why I probably have, but I don't. It's not. All I'm hearing is Georgia on my mind. That's all I'm thinking of. What? Sing it a little bit.
Georgia.
There you go.
Georgia
on my mind. That song.
Right, but then there's Ludacris rapping about Georgia.
Oh.
I got 5 Georgia homes where I lay my Georgia bones. That's great. Nobody believed he had 5 houses. What I'm saying is, it's all.
I'm with Nuck If You Buck. I'm with Nuck If You
Truly.
Buck. Yeah, that's why. And
now,
why it's a club banger also.
People have been getting punched to Nuck If You Buck since it came out.
They play that shit at 7 a.m. when I was in high school. Everybody be like with orange juice and coffee. Like,
if you hear that, you automatically assume somebody is finna fight. That's like if the Mortal Kombat theme song play out of nowhere, like, shit,
yeah,
it's gonna go down.
Nuck If You Buck.
Like, I remember being out in clubs in Atlanta where I used to, go out like that. And I remember being at a club and the DJ came over the thing and was like, "We're not playing you Nuck If You Buck. We just got new furniture." Right? When I hear that. Also, I was at the Netflix after party for the Emmys, and I got the DJ to play "Nuck If You Buck," and then he played "Fuck Nigga Free" by Glorilla Pimp, which is my new favorite song. Then I was in the bathroom and came back, and he was only playing Beyonce after that, and I was like, "Oh, this nigga got in trouble." But what I'm saying is, I was at the Netflix after party dancing to "Nuck If You Buck" with Tia from Sister Sister. So what I'm saying is,
what was Tamura?
she was probably at home with her kids. It was Tia and the Taj was also there.
I forgot.
They ain't been together for a while.
Yeah, they
also grown with kids.
Not the 90s, bro.
This ain't the 90s. They grown with kids. They're 40s. They're in their 40s. So Josh Johnson, you can see just the love, the affection that people have for this song. Also, you picked a song that a lot of people don't even remember or heard.
Because it wasn't about popularity. It was about if there was a new Negro spiritual. And just for a second, listen to the old Negro spirituals for a second. How many of them do you want to fight to? You know what I mean? Like, how many make you want to punch someone in the face? I'd say none.
Because of the tempo.
Like 3.
Because of the tempo, right? Because of the tempo. Because of the tempo.
You know what? You can throw heads and swing low, sweet chariot, if you really want to.
It can. Yeah. Swing low,
Georgia?
swing low.
I'm not even fighting for Georgia as much as I'm fighting the fact that Nuck If You Buck is not a new Negro
That's
spiritual.
the thing. You're going against... Listen, it's the feeling you get. There's a British black chick at the job who picked it, and she ain't even from here. You understand? She was like, it's the feeling you get when you hear it. Like, Josh, I don't know why you're trying to deny that thing is in you, and you're just like, yeah, just, ah! Like, you trying to deny that, ah! Like, that's what you... Let it out, Josh. Let out.
What out?
Yeah.
I don't have any of that.
So
Okay?
you not a gat-toed pistol walking nigga on your damn street? Stop it, driving, getting coke off in this
damn thing?
Nah, I'm good.
So you've never gone anywhere. So you've never come in a club shaking your dreads, throwing these bows and busting these heads. You've
never had dreads. Don't even go to clubs.
You got her now, nigga.
If I've busted a head, I need to sort my affairs.
Just stop at shaking your dreads.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you who don't get enough credit. Bun B. I love Bun B.
Yeah, oh yeah, Texas. Bun B is he really good. People don't give him.
I believe
it
came out in 2006.
I used to fuck with Slim Thug. Isn't Slim Thug the one that said he didn't fuck with black women?
No, I don't.
How did we get here?
That's a great question. We was talking about all the niggas on the game featuring. I mean, maybe you have questions for us because I think I just been attacking Josh.
No, y'all fine. We good. Man. This is usually how it goes. We wing it, and this happens.
I've been sitting here trying to think if there's a Spanish equivalent song that makes you want to fight in a club, but I don't think there is.
I remember they came up with a Spanish version of "Tear the Club Up," and that was hilarious.
Gasolina.
You want to fight to La Chona?
Yeah, I'll fight to La Chona.
But I mean, well, you can't fight to La Vaca. I know that much.
Or Bitty Bitty Bamba.
I know some of these words.
You can't fight to
Selena. Yeah, no one's gonna fight.
I mean.
But like, think about it. Like that would be the
ain't you automatically going to hell for that?
I think if you fight to Selena, you will. Like if it's because you can't fight to Como La Flor because that would be hilarious.
Legend has it.
But because you couldn't, I guess you could fight the Oro Soli though. But that's an old song. Oh, Baile de Beeper, that'd be a very fast fight. The problem is like a lot of those reggaeton songs are too fast to fight to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like. Then you got the white versions, which are Limp Bizkit. I mean, you could fight to any of those songs.
I mean, in those headbanging songs like Effervescence, you can fight to all of those songs. Ain't nobody think about Limp Bizkit, but like, I mean, Joshua, like, I want so much for you, friend. And
she really wants you to start listening to Gangbanger music,
this
bro.
Is the thing.
Like, you gotta.
This is what happens. This is what I feel like. Is one of the things that comes at me sideways when we have these arguments is that, instead of just coming from a place of, I think my thing is better, she comes from a place of disappointment. Like I've done something and I haven't done anything. I've had my regular opinion. And then she'll be like, oh, I really had high hopes.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what?
I just want you to be great, friend. And you just out here picking wild shit.
Just I'm
listening. Listen, this song sounds like the theme to Game of Thrones.
You can definitely fight to the song.
Yeah, you can also definitely fight the theme of Game of Thrones. I was waiting for some rapper to remix the theme of Game of Thrones. I really was.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Lil Wayne to freestyle over the theme.
Surprised it hasn't happened.
So am I.
I'm dead.
But I guess HBO ain't playing with the copyright.
Have y'all caught House of Dragon? Y'all big fans of?
I haven't caught it yet. I love the fact that people are so mad about these black elves, black and Latino elves. As if I'm always confused about like, because I remember watching Game of Thrones and being like, there's no black people in it, and then finally were black people in it, they were slaves, and I was just like, damn, even in some white man's made up story, you didn't have to do this to us. And not only were they fucking slaves, they were an enslaved army that had all been castrated. So it was so this bitch had an army of niggas with no dicks.
That's not wow.
And I was like, what in the fuck is this?
I don't watch much Game of Thrones. That's Dre and Tony's wheelhouse, but I've been hearing a lot about House of Dragon. So I don't know the lore about it, but that sounds crazy.
I know it's a lot of niggas in white wigs, apparently.
Yeah, but it's a prequel to like Game of Thrones. It's showing how the white people with dragons and shit went down, basically.
Any of them niggas got dragons though?
Yes.
That's good to know. Because I feel like they keep trying to keep us out of this like because it's like y'all want to be mad about the Little Mermaid, and I'm just like, but it's
a lot of times it be people that just don't know what the heck they're talking about. They just like to be upset with shit at times.
Well, it's like, well, it's a fantasy world, and I was like, if it's a fantasy world, they could literally be purple.
Yeah,
it depends. It's like but it's like if you're going over some shit that's been like made, and you know how somebody it's a difference between that being fantasy and you just going flagrantly like changing shit for no apparent reason.
I mean,
that's when you go to reimagine the shit. But then you got certain nerds that you just can't just pull that one on people. It just don't.
But they do prequels because there's no more story after.
And this time they did it, and it is though.
Well, I mean, it's all right because like my brother explained to me that there's like people in Game of Thrones. Well, like my brother was saying, like with Game of Thrones, there are people who are dead who should be alive, and people who are alive who should be dead.
Oh,
that's how it is on Lord of the Rings.
Well, he was talking about because he was telling me about the Red Wedding. Like the way that the Red Wedding goes down is not how it goes down in the book.
Is
like what happens is it's like Catelyn Stark.
You can't do certain shit on TV.
Oh, they did everything that was wild in fucking Game of Thrones. Making Catelyn Stark a water zombie was the least wild fucking thing they could have done on Game of Thrones. One of my friends came up to me like when the 4th season came out. One of my friends, Dan Weeks, he's a great comic. He's such a sweetheart. We pretended to be married at a pool party before just for fun. And so just being silly. And so he came up to me and he was like, have you watched the 4th season yet of Game of Thrones? And I was like, no, I haven't started it yet. He was like, please don't. And I was like, why? He's like, they're just raping everybody. And I was like, damn. He said, I'm telling all my female friends.
It was a phase.
He said, don't watch it. He said, he's telling all of you. I was like, for a man to come up to me and go, hey, listen, this ain't what you want. I was like, thank you so much, friend. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good looking out.
So, you guys are both writers for The Daily Show. We
are not both writers for The Daily Show.
I thought it was. My bad.
Most people do. I'm a correspondent. The correspondent.
I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. Correspondent for The Daily Show.
Okay.
So how's we've added Josh Johnson in this question, but how does it feel, being a correspondent for The Daily Show and being black female in the industry and usually saturated by a lot of men and stuff like that? How does it feel for you, and how's the experience for you going so far?
It's fine. I mean, it's like Trevor created a space. It's like Jessica was there before. And Trevor created a space, and it's there's always a learning curve. It's always, the people have to figure out, okay, what stories can we pitch for her? That's why most of the time when I work on stuff, it's either with Josh or with another writer, Devin De La Quanti, because I think the first thing I needed to do, because Josh started working there 2 months after I did, and I knew Josh from before, and so when Josh got there, it made things a lot easier for me because I was like, okay, this is someone who's a stand-up comic,
Right.
because there's a difference in the writing between someone who just writes for TV and someone who's a stand-up comic. And so, me and Josh have like a similar background, and like, our styles aren't the same, but Josh has a very storytelling style and I have a storytelling style. And so Josh understands how I come at comedy. So that's what made it be really good, because they're like, when they'll ask me, who do you want to with? Josh. And at this point, stop asking me. Like, who I'm going to say.
Sure.
You know who I'm going to say, because the answer's always, because one point they're like, Josh. I was like, yes. Stop asking me. What do you mean? It's always going to be Josh. Is it Josh or Devin? Why are we being confused out here? Like, this don't make no sense. Quit asking me this question. Did the sun come up? Yes. It's Josh. So, but that's because of the rapport me and him have and just kind of comics that we are. So that's been the best thing about it, is because I have found people to work with who understand me and my comedy. Because that's the hardest part of a lot of these things. I'm just like, oh, if it's someone that doesn't get me, or they got me, run up with a bunch of these white boys, it's like, because Devin's white, but Devin gets it. So, as in different, like, we can make a reference to something and Devin knows what the reference is.
Okay, that works.
Right. So, if I'm talking about Sade, Devin knows who the hell Sade is. Right? It could be something like a deep cut, or if I'm talking about an episode of Living Single, Devin's seen Living Single. So,
he's done his research.
That's just what what he grew up with, and so when you're dealing with someone who has a shared experience, who understands your stand-up, that's why we fuck with Devin, and so because he understands where I'm coming from, and the things I say to him are foreign, and also it's like, you're not trying to get me to say something, you're working with me in writing. That's what's made it a lot easier being in this position, because I'm working with people who understand me as a performer and a person. Yeah. Listen to the pod. Honestly, can I ask y'all a question?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
If there was a subject that you would want me and Josh to debate on the podcast, what would y'all want us to debate? Because we already know he's wrong about Nucky Buck. So.
It had to be something nerd related. I mean, actually, it'd be Marvel versus DC. But
I got no dog. I got no horse, dog, chicken in that race. I don't have enough.
You're not a nerd?
I'm not that kind of nerd. If you said like a Star Trek, Star Wars situation.
Star Trek versus Star Wars.
I'm Star Trek all day, but I think Josh is also Star Trek.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not well versed enough in Star Wars to even take the other side of the position.
Right.
Even if I love Star Wars.
Deep Space Nine versus Voyager.
Okay, I have not watched enough about Voyager because Captain Janeway always sounded like somebody was shaking her to me. And I couldn't get down with it. I'm very much into voices, which is why I can't listen to Kendrick Lamar, because I think he sounds like a Muppet.
Unacceptable. But yeah, go off, I guess.
Listen,
wow.
He knows that he sounds like he was made by Jim Henson. He knows.
Look.
He knows.
This slander.
He knows his voice
not
never
stand.
He knows that he sounds like his voice never dropped. He knows that. Okay? He knows. He's not unaware.
Not true.
I mean, it's the hard truth, but yeah.